Have you ever wondered why some people enjoy a peaceful and fulfilling life in their later years, while others seem to face ongoing struggles? The answer may lie in the company they keep. As we grow older, protecting our mental and emotional well-being becomes more essential than ever. In this video, we will explore the 8 types of people you should avoid in your later years to preserve your happiness, peace, and emotional health. Not only will I help you recognize these individuals, but I'll also share practical strategies for managing these relationships effectively to ensure you're surrounded by positive and supportive connections. The final type of person may surprise you, so be sure to stick around. Before we dive in, if you find this content valuable, please take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated with more wisdom to help you navigate life's challenges. Let's begin our journey to a more peaceful, fulfilling life in your later years, free from negative influences. 1. The chronic complainer. We all know someone who constantly finds the negative in everything. Whether it's the weather, traffic, or a casual conversation, they always seem to drag down the mood. Chronic complainers are skilled at focusing on what's wrong, and their negativity can be contagious. Research shows that being around chronic complainers can slowly erode your mental health over time. Their behavior, much like a dark cloud, blocks out the light of positivity and optimism that we need, especially in our later years. It's essential to distance yourself from this kind of constant negativity if you want to maintain your peace and well-being. According to Stoic principles, one key aspect of a good life is controlling your reactions to external circumstances. While you can't control a chronic complainer's behavior, you can control how you respond to it. This is where visualizing an umbrella of positivity can help. Imagine yourself holding an invisible umbrella that shields you from their negativity, letting their complaints slide off without affecting your mood. By maintaining your calm and positive outlook, you're not only protecting yourself, but also practicing the Stoic art of emotional resilience. When faced with a chronic complainer, don't be afraid to redirect the conversation. You can gently ask them to focus on something positive, saying something like, "Yes, the weather is challenging, but isn't it nice to spend time together today?" Over time, they may either begin to adjust their mindset or move on to someone else who's more receptive to their negativity. By using these tactics, you're implementing the Stoic idea of turning obstacles into opportunities. Every time a chronic complainer tests your patience, you can use it as a chance to practice your self-control and focus on what truly matters. One of the central ideas in Stoic philosophy is that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Chronic complainers will always be around, but you have the power to decide whether or not to let their negativity infiltrate your thoughts and emotions. By using this Stoic principle, you cultivate emotional boundaries that protect your peace and happiness. Over time, this approach will not only improve your mental health, but also help you navigate difficult relationships with grace and wisdom. Dealing with chronic complainers in your later years is about applying Stoic wisdom to create a calm and peaceful mindset. Whether it's visualizing an umbrella of positivity, redirecting negative conversations, or simply practicing patience, you'll find that embracing these Stoic principles helps you avoid unnecessary stress and maintain the tranquility you deserve as you age. 2. The unstoppable gossip. Gossip might seem like a harmless pastime, but beneath the surface, it's a silent destroyer of trust and relationships. In your later years, trust becomes the cornerstone of deep, meaningful connections, and allowing gossip to take root can severely damage that foundation. Gossips often spread rumors without regard for the truth, and they betray confidence, creating an atmosphere of mistrust and emotional stress. This toxic behavior erodes the peace and emotional well-being that are so vital as we age. From a Stoic principles perspective, gossip not only harms others, but also undermines your character and tranquility. Stoicism teaches us to focus on things we can control, and engaging in gossip does the opposite. It places our attention on things that are irrelevant to our virtue and well-being. As Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." If we're truly dedicated to living a good life, gossip has no place in our conversations or relationships. To combat gossip effectively, you can apply the Socratic triple filter test. This simple yet powerful tool asks you to evaluate any information you hear or share through 3 questions. Is it true? Is it good? Is it useful? If the answer to any of these questions is no, it's a clear sign that you should steer clear of the conversation. This test helps you avoid falling into the trap of gossip and encourages a more thoughtful, positive approach to communication. But what if you find yourself in a conversation where gossip starts flowing? According to Stoic principles, we must be mindful of how we react in such situations. Set clear boundaries by kindly but firmly stating that you'd prefer not to engage in that kind of conversation. For example, if someone starts spreading rumors, you could say, "I'd rather not talk about others when they're not here to defend themselves." This not only protects your peace, but also sets a higher standard for your interactions. If setting boundaries feels uncomfortable, another effective strategy is to redirect the conversation towards something more positive. When gossip arises, you might say, "That's interesting, but let's talk about something more uplifting. How are you doing with that project you were excited about?" This shift can subtly guide the conversation away from negativity without confrontation, keeping the tone of the interaction light and constructive. Moreover, Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of focusing on our own character rather than the faults of others. Gossip, at its core, distracts us from this goal, pulling our attention away from personal growth. By refusing to engage in or listen to gossip, you're practicing the Stoic virtue of wisdom, choosing to focus on what truly matters in your life and the lives of those around you. 3. The manipulator. Manipulators are masters at twisting situations to their advantage, often making you feel guilty or responsible for their problems. They subtly control the narrative, leaving you feeling like the bad guy for standing your ground or asserting your needs. In our later years, we may become more vulnerable to these tactics due to a desire for harmony and peace. But it's crucial to protect yourself from falling into these emotional traps. Manipulation can erode your self-confidence, leaving you doubting your decisions and choices. From the perspective of Stoic principles, maintaining your personal integrity and emotional boundaries is key to avoiding manipulation. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our actions, values, and judgments, while letting go of what we cannot control, such as the emotions or reactions of others. Manipulators often prey on those who are unsure of their boundaries, but Stoicism reminds us that knowing your values is the first line of defense. As Epictetus wisely said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." To protect yourself from manipulation, build a shield of authenticity. This shield is grounded in a clear understanding of your values, priorities, and boundaries. When you know what truly matters to you, it becomes easier to spot when someone is trying to manipulate your emotions. Assertiveness is essential here. Learn to say no firmly, but with kindness. The Stoic concept of ataraxia, or inner peace, comes from standing strong in your principles, even when others attempt to sway you with guilt or pressure. Additionally, Stoic principles encourage self-reflection and seeking wisdom from trusted sources. If you ever find yourself doubting whether someone is manipulating you, turn to trusted friends or family for their objective perspective. Manipulators thrive in confusion and isolation, so bringing light to the situation through the advice of others can help you see things more clearly. 4. The obsessive controller. Obsessive controllers are people who feel the need to manage every aspect of the lives of those around them. This behavior often stems from a place of fear or insecurity. Controllers believe that if they can just control everything, they can prevent bad outcomes. While they may have good intentions, their actions often create conflict, stifle relationships, and leave little room for others to make their own decisions. This need for control not only strains relationships, but also undermines trust and freedom, which are essential for meaningful connections, especially in later years. From a Stoic perspective, the desire to control others is futile because it ignores one of the core principles of Stoicism: understanding what is within our control and what is not. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught, Some things are within our control, others are not. Controllers struggle because they refuse to accept this fundamental truth, mistakenly believing they can influence the actions, thoughts, and lives of others. However, true peace comes from recognizing the limits of our control and focusing on mastering our reactions, thoughts, and behaviors. If you find yourself dealing with an obsessive controller, the key to resolving the situation lies in fostering trust and practicing non-attachment. Trust is a powerful antidote to the need for control. By trusting others to handle their own lives and decisions, you allow relationships to flourish without the burden of micromanagement. This trust creates space for mutual respect and understanding, which are essential for a healthy connection. Additionally, letting go of the need to control or be controlled requires embracing the Stoic principle of acceptance. Accept that there are many things outside of your control, including the behavior of others, and that trying to manage every detail will only lead to frustration. Instead, focus on what is within your control: your own actions, your responses, and your emotional state. Dealing with an obsessive controller requires a shift in mindset. By embracing Stoic wisdom, you can cultivate trust, release the need for control, and allow others to express themselves freely. This approach not only reduces conflict, but also leads to more harmonious and fulfilling relationships in your later years. 5. The opportunist. Opportunists are those individuals who seem to appear only when things are going well for you. They may act like friends, but their intentions are often self-serving, driven by what they can gain from the relationship. When life is smooth and successful, they are by your side, basking in the benefits. But when times get tough, they tend to vanish, revealing their lack of genuine loyalty. Opportunists can drain your energy and take advantage of your generosity, leaving you feeling used and unsupported when you need someone the most. From the viewpoint of Stoic philosophy, relationships should be built on mutual respect and reciprocity, not on what one person can extract from the other. The Stoics teach us to be discerning in our associations, focusing on those who value us for our character rather than for external gains. As Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. In the same way, the quality of your relationships largely determines your emotional well-being, and surrounding yourself with opportunists undermines this. To deal with opportunists, it's important to take a step back and evaluate the balance of your relationships. Ask yourself, are you the one who is always giving, or is there mutual reciprocity? Do they offer consistent support, or do they only show up when there's something in it for them? Stoic wisdom encourages us to prioritize relationships that are grounded in virtue and sincerity rather than convenience or gain. Surround yourself with people who value you for who you are, not for what you can offer them materially or socially. One way to ensure you're not falling prey to opportunists is to pay attention to consistency. True friends will stand by you during both good and bad times, while opportunists will only be present when things are going well for you. If you notice someone disappearing when life becomes challenging, it's a red flag that the relationship may not be built on genuine care or loyalty. Instead of holding on to these one-sided connections, the Stoics would advise letting go of relationships that no longer serve your higher purpose of peace and personal growth. In addition, Stoic principles remind us that we should focus on what we can control, which includes our choices in relationships. You can't control how opportunists behave, but you can choose how much time and energy you invest in them. By practicing discernment and setting boundaries, you protect yourself from the emotional toll that opportunists can take on your well-being. 6. The secret envious. The secret envious person can be one of the most challenging to deal with because their jealousy is often well hidden beneath a facade of support. On the surface, they may appear to be happy for you, offering congratulations or sharing in your successes. But beneath that exterior, they harbor envy and resentment. This jealousy can manifest in subtle, undermining behaviors, such as backhanded compliments or passive-aggressive remarks designed to make you feel guilty or ashamed of your accomplishments. Over time, their envy can erode your sense of joy, causing self-doubt and conflict in the relationship. From the perspective of Stoic philosophy, envy is a destructive emotion that stems from insecurity and a lack of self-awareness. Envious people compare themselves to others, focusing on what they lack instead of cultivating gratitude for what they have. As Stoic thinkers like Seneca and Epictetus emphasized, true contentment comes not from external success or possessions, but from inner peace and self-mastery. The secret envious person has not learned this lesson and, as a result, projects their insecurity onto others. To navigate relationships with envious individuals, Stoic principles offer a powerful guide. First and foremost, practice empathy while maintaining emotional distance. Recognize that their envy is not about you, but rather their internal struggles. As Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Understanding that their jealousy stems from their discontent can help you avoid taking their actions personally. However, empathy doesn't mean allowing their negative feelings to influence your happiness. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control: our thoughts, actions, and emotional responses. You cannot change or control another person's envy, but you can choose not to let it affect your well-being. Continue to cultivate gratitude for your successes and focus on your personal growth, rather than letting the envious person's negativity cloud your sense of fulfillment. If the relationship becomes too toxic or emotionally draining, it's important to step back. Stoicism reminds us that some things are outside of our control, and that includes how others feel about us. It's perfectly okay to distance yourself from people who bring negativity into your life. This is not an act of cruelty, but one of self-preservation and wisdom. As Epictetus said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Similarly, a rich life is not about the number of relationships we maintain, but the quality of those relationships. 7. The energy vampire. Energy vampires are individuals who leave you feeling emotionally drained after every interaction. Whether they're constantly seeking attention, validation, or sympathy, they rarely give back in the relationship and tend to sap your emotional energy without offering anything in return. Over time, these interactions can take a toll on your mental well-being, leaving you feeling exhausted and overwhelmed. For many, dealing with energy vampires becomes especially burdensome in later years, when emotional resilience is more important than ever. From a Stoic perspective, it's crucial to manage your energy and protect your emotional health by setting boundaries with those who drain you. Stoic principles emphasize the importance of focusing on what you can control: your actions, thoughts, and responses. While you cannot change the behavior of an energy vampire, you can control how you engage with them and how much of your time and energy you allow them to consume. One useful technique is to visualize a shield of energy before interacting with known energy vampires. This mental exercise helps you create a protective boundary, keeping their emotional demands from penetrating your sense of peace. By imagining this shield, you remind yourself to stay grounded and preserve your inner calm, no matter how much the other person tries to pull from you emotionally. This aligns with the Stoic teaching of maintaining equanimity in the face of external pressures, a key to preserving your well-being. Setting clear boundaries is another essential step. Stoicism encourages us to take responsibility for our well-being and to recognize when certain interactions are harmful. Be honest with yourself about how much time you can spend with energy vampires without feeling depleted. It's perfectly acceptable to limit the time you devote to them, or even to distance yourself when necessary. As Epictetus advised, no great thing is created suddenly. Protecting your emotional health is a gradual process that requires consistent effort, and setting boundaries is a crucial part of that process. Moreover, Stoic philosophy reminds us that self-care is not selfish. It's essential for leading a balanced and fulfilling life. Prioritizing your own emotional health ensures that you have the strength to manage life's challenges with resilience. By maintaining boundaries with energy vampires, you're not only protecting yourself, but also preserving your capacity to engage in relationships that are truly supportive and reciprocal. Your later years should be a time of peace, growth, and joy. By recognizing and avoiding these 8 types of people to avoid in your later years, you can safeguard your emotional well-being and cultivate positive, supportive relationships. It's not about harshly cutting people off, but about setting healthy boundaries that protect your peace and happiness. As you practice these principles, inspired by Stoic wisdom, you'll find greater contentment and resilience in your relationships. If you've made it this far, comment below, "I choose peace," to show your commitment to maintaining your well-being in your later years. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who could benefit from it. Stay wise, stay positive, and protect your peace. Thanks for watching Stoic Narratives. And remember to stay connected for more insights into leading a more fulfilled life based on Stoic principles.